like the books?
I love it.
Good.
Dreams cannot be yours. All the sights, the treasures of the eye.
Greetings, film lovers. Welcome to the Cinema Sandbox. I'm Kristopher G.
I'm Jordan Sherwood. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Today we're taking a little special time out to look back at the life and career of one of Hollywood and indeed the world's most well-known and beloved actors of all time, really, Sam Neill. We woke up this morning to, the sad news that he had passed away.
He came out, I think, a few years ago saying that he was dealing with a rare blood cancer.
Yeah.
And had recovered from that.
Right.
So I don't think this had anything to do with that.
So it might have been a separate issue.
Yeah. But I know he was very public about, his battle with cancer.
Well, I was just going to say, I used to follow him on Instagram, and he would post, especially during the pandemic, he was posting these positive messages during the pandemic, reminding, us, his fans or whatever, the world to just, be present and, try to stay positive.
This is Charlie. Loves cuddling. It's very soothing for Charlie. And probably more soothing for me. Say hello, Charlie. Don't be shy.
It was like having your uncle or something, kind of giving you a kind word. He had that kind of avuncular.
That reminds me, I saw it was an interview. Maybe it was taken from like a Q&A session between him and some fans, but yeah. There was a fan that had a question for him that just took him back and moved him to tears.
What is the best lesson you learnt from your parents?
I don't know why that question has moved me so much, but it has. My parents were of the generation that went through a lot of things.
He kind of went on to a story about how they, survived the Depression, were very stoic people. One of the words of advice that I guess that came to his mind, it's very ordinary, but I can imagine, the context meant so much. He was overwhelmed with, school and early adulthood one day, and his mom just told him.
She just looked at me and she said, well, you're just going to have to pull yourself together, aren't you? And I think that was the best lesson I learned from her, is sometimes you just have to pull yourself together.
Really, the whole world needed to hear that message.
What do you know Sam Neill from?
It's definitely Jurassic Park.
Biological attraction so astounding that they'll capture the imagination of the entire planet.
The most phenomenal discovery of our time.
How'd you do this?
Becomes the greatest adventure of all time.
I had forgotten until today. I knew him from Event Horizon as well.
Okay.
This is incredible. It's the Event Horizon. She's come back.
I would put Sam Neill in the same category as, like a lot of actors from the classic Hollywood era that were kind of household names, or at least recognizable. Like, your parents and your grandparents would see Sam, oh, that's the guy from Jurassic Park, at the very least, right?
Yeah.
But they might not even know his name. And he was one of these guys who just knocked films out one after the other, always did a really great job, always good at what he did, but really never hit that high level of Hollywood royalty where he was Oscar nominated and he would get the premium roles, like that Harrison Ford would get or whatnot. Yeah. Despite being in huge, huge films. He was 78 years old. He was actually born in Ireland, although he is primarily known as a New Zealand Hollywood actor. I believe he lived in New Zealand for most of his life. He also operated a vineyard out of New Zealand, which is interesting. He said it wasn't the wildly profitable thing that many people think having a vineyard was. He said it was actually a lot of money and time and energy to put into it. It didn't make a lot of money. But he kept doing it because he was just passionate about it. And it's one of those things that connects somebody to the land and, and just, you become aware of the seasons and you become aware of details like, in agriculture. One of his early films that I haven't seen, I really do want to see now, is called Sleeping Dogs from 1977.
Sleeping Dogs. Starring Sam Neill as Smith.
Don't you ever worry about killing the wrong man?
and special guest star Warren Oates.
I'm going to get the idea that you really admire these gorillas. Well, I don't, see.
Some Australian films, some New Zealand films. My Brilliant Career was one he did with Gillian Anderson. Sorry, Gillian Armstrong, not Anderson. Gillian Anderson's the X-Files.
Oh,
name,
yeah,
right?
yeah, that's right.
Gillian Armstrong. Then he went on to do a film with Andrei Zulawski in 1981 called Possession.
Maybe all couples go through this.
You have someone.
Yes.
Do you sleep with him?
Yes.
A film that has, over the years, become quite a cult favorite, especially because of the performance of Isabella Adjani in here. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I've only seen clips of her performance.
You know the famous scene of her on the subway. A difficult film at the time to sell. Nobody really, it was sort of an art film, but it was trying to be sold as a horror film. And so horror fans were like kind of disappointed. And then art house people were like a little bit taken aback because there are some gruesome, there's like Creatures by Carlo Rambaldi who, you know, made the alien from E.T. and stuff like that. But it really is sort of a psychological thriller about a couple who is having a very intense relationship breakup, and one of those films where you're like, what is reality, what is not reality? But what I knew him from initially was...
Disciples of the Watch, I stand before you in the name of the one who is cast out from heaven, but is alive.
The final conflict.
Yes, Mr. President. I've just appointed Mr. Damien Thorne as our new ambassador to the court of St. James.
Damien Thorne is 32, attractive, brilliant, charismatic. To the modern world, he brings a purpose, a vision, a destiny. He's one step away from the most important position on Earth.
Yeah, he plays the grown-up Damien.
Hey, Kramer, listen, you've seen The Omen, right? What exactly was that kid?
Damien? Nothing, just a mischievous, rambunctious kid.
You know, it's not a great film, but Sam Neill stuck out. Like, I always remembered him as being very sinister and very believable as the adult version of that little kid.
Yeah.
So I had a hard time almost seeing him in other stuff. Like, he would show up in other things, and I'd be like, I don't know if I buy him in that film, you know, because he was always just an evil, super evil guy to me, but diverse actor.
He's very believable in all types of those roles, though. He sold me as a kid as like the dad type.
Yeah.
I don't think he was even a dad in Jurassic Park, but he...
No, he was like the anti-dad because he hated kids, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
but he still, you know, had that vibe of like, I'm going to protect these kids, and I bought that as a kid.
He has this kind of trajectory where like he just kept getting bigger profile pictures. 1990 brought him to American audiences through The Hunt for Red October.
And once more, we play our dangerous game with our old adversaries, the American Navy.
But he has that famous line because when, you know, they're going to be defecting or whatever, and they have this plot to take the submarine and then defect to the United States. He's always wanted to see Montana. And so, you know, spoiler alert,
I would like to have seen Montana.
Then in 1991, he did a film which I absolutely adore, and nobody else likes this film, except the folks at Criterion, because they did release it.
Summer kisses, winter tears. That was what he gave to me. Never thought I'd travel all along the trail of memory.
Well, this is the international cut of Until the End of the World, which is a film by Wim Wenders, which was Wim Wenders' epic road movie, science fiction road movie, which spans like 15 continents and all this bullshit.
I don't know this one.
William Hurt plays like an inventor who's invented a machine that can allow blind people to see. And then how that becomes like this big chase for the technology around the globe or whatever. But it's not done in a Hollywood techno-thriller way. It's done in the inimitable style of Wim Wenders as a kind of a road movie, art house film with colorful characters and, sort of bizarre sidetracks and whatnot. Love this movie. This is the long cut. The theatrical cut was an abomination because it was cut down from whatever it was originally. I guess it was originally 287 minutes. It was a two-parter. He started his relationship after that in 1992 with John Carpenter.
I don't sleep well. I can see through my eyelids. I can see through the top of my head.
But I'll never sell out.
Think of the adventure we could have together. Yeah, we can go to Frontierland.
Memoirs of an Invisible Man.
Didn't go well because the star was Chevy Chase.
Maybe I wouldn't have gotten so loaded that night.
10 minutes. I'll be as good as new.
I could go on for days about the stories from Community.
Right.
And all of the people. I mean, every single individual from that set has awful stories about them.
But Sam Neill, who plays the heavy, saves the film because he's light and he's, energetic and he's likable, even though he's the bad guy. I don't like it. It's just a slog to get through. But if you're going to watch this film, Sam Neill is the reason to watch it. Then in 1993...
What happened in 1993?
Hold on to your butts.
A Steven Spielberg film.
Senses of feeling all over the park.
Yeah, that's nice. Gotta go.
An adventure.
Look out!
I was a big scaredy cat. I hated horror movies. I made it up until the T-Rex came out. And then my dad had to take me out of the theater. I know he was excited.
You were just freaking out? Or what?
Yeah. I couldn't handle it. I was scared. I was crying. I was like, get me out of here. I can't do this.
Oh, no. It was a scary movie. Like, it's not... Well, not a horror movie, but it's in the, like the way the Jaws is a sort of a scary movie.
I was just 6, but even for grown adults who had been going to movies their whole lives, people had never seen anything like that.
Yeah, no, the level of realism and the CG effects was just another level. But we know that effects do not make a movie, and so Sam Neill's character is one of the reasons the movie's enjoyable.
See, okay, everyone goes on and on and on about Jeff Goldblum,
right?
Like. You could take him out of the movie and it would still work. I'm sorry. Sam Neill is the heart and soul of it.
Yeah. Same year as Jurassic Park, he came out with...
She says it's her piano and she won't have him touch it.
We're a family now. We all make sacrifices, and so will you.
Sam Neill always brings it. He's always very real in his performances. And not ever too showy.
He's probably not doing the method acting thing.
Yeah, he seems to be more of that kind of British, just show up, be professional, know your lines, hit your marks, that kind of thing. You're not trying to showboat all the time like some actors try to do. So we start getting a little bit more horror stuff. He hooks up again with John Carpenter for In the Mouth of Madness.
John, my name is Dr. Wren, and I'm going to try and get you out of here. I want to know how you got here. All of this started with the disappearance. The Sutter Kane disappearance.
I like just putting it on because it kind of has a good vibe, good atmosphere, very creepy, H.P. Lovecraftian type vibe, and it's got a great cast.
Sam Neill, Jurgen Prochnow, Julie Carmen, and Charlton Heston.
I'm not insane!
2 years later, 1997, following up with horror, he does Event Horizon.
The ship doesn't really go faster than light. What it does is it creates a dimensional gateway that allows it to jump instantaneously from one point of the universe to another light years away.
Where's she been for the last 7 years, Doctor?
That's what we're here to find out.
It has a kind of a gothic feel to it, a kind of a haunted house story out in space. So I like watching it sometimes. Definitely a B movie. Bicentennial Man, did you see?
I did see that.
What is it, Daddy?
Wait.
Nobody would say, like, oh my God, the new Sam Neill movie opened. It would be, oh, Jurassic Park is out. The dinosaurs are the star. But when you're there, you got to have actors like that to sell the dinosaurs.
But I'll tell you, fans were definitely excited when he came back in the new one too.
Right.
Because he wasn't in, I think, the first couple. It was all, Chris Pratt.
Ellie Sattler.
Alan Grant.
You didn't come out all this way just to catch up now, did you?
You coming or what?
But it was around that time during the press conference for 2022 for that film that I think it was his cancer was detected. They noticed some swelling or something, and so that was sort of around the time where he started to undergo chemo, I guess, and all that stuff. Yeah. That film was terrible, though. I don't know if you saw it. It was such an embarrassment to him. Like, they gave him nothing to do, and it had like these really dumb character arcs. The way that Spielberg used him in the first one was that, Spielberg has this obsession with fatherhood and fathers and sons, right? And the whole thing about him, like, not wanting kids.
He's very reluctant, but
then he ends up being the best protector of the kids of anyone. So he brought that humanity, I think, into everything he did. He was 78. That's not terribly old. Yeah. That's kind of a little bit of a shame, because I think anyone at that age, you see guys like Christopher Lee and Ian McKellen and whatnot going into their 80s and 90s even. Goddamn, fucking Mel Brooks and Dick Van Dyke have been taking the same elixir of youth or whatever, because they are still. Mel Brooks has got Spaceballs, the new one, coming out like next year or whatever, at 100 years old. Jesus Christ, is that the oldest film directed by?
It's got to be,
because I don't know any other 100-year-olds
cinema itself like this.
But yeah, that's the great thing about cinema. And this is why we celebrate cinema, is that, every time we lose a good one like this, it hurts, but it's an opportunity to go back and rewatch that stuff and relive that stuff and reappreciate what we love about the people that make the movies that we love. And
his good work's always going to be with us.
Yeah. I'm going to miss him. Like, I really, it's kind of a person that you can kind of take for granted.
Yeah.
When he's gone, you're like, yeah, I kind of miss that guy. Like, he really made the movies memorable that he was
a really
in.
Good one.
Which of these ones that I just pulled out kind of what are you most interested in
I
seeing?
haven't seen Possession, so I want to see that.
Oh, okay.
I've only seen, those few clips.
Right.
So I would love to see the whole.
Okay, well, that's a dive in the deep end then, because holy shit, that film is like definitely a what the fuck kind of movie.
Yeah.
And it'll leave you reeling for days. Thank you for tuning in for our little special look back at the career and life of Sam Neill. Until next time, when we return with our regular episodes, I'm Kristopher G.
I'm Jordan Sherwood. Thank you so much for joining us.
Take care.